Hello, and welcome back to Marvelous Anime. Cyberpunk anime traces its roots to Japan's punk scene. Underground music fueled rebellion in the 1970s. Films like Sogo Ishii's Panic High School captured anarchy. Crazy Thunder Road added biker grit. Then, 1982 hit hard. Katsuhiro Otomo launched the Akira manga. The dystopia of Neo-Tokyo was vibrating with psychic violence and gang fights. The 1988 film was a shock to the world. Animation shattered limits and explosive visuals drew global attention. This sparked a wave. Ghost in the Shell probed cyborg souls, Battle Angel Alita was crushed in scrapyards, the themes deepened, and the high-tech worlds crushed lowlives. Corporations loomed, hackers pierced the net, identity fractured in neon hazes. Japan led where the West followed. William Gibson's Neuromancer nodded to Chiba's glow. The 2000s reignited flames, and studios combined cyber dread and dark fantasy. Obscure titles hid brutal visions, and mech horrors stalked the shadows. These anime demand rediscovery, so let's get into it. Metropolis, 2001. Metropolis drops you into a city where humans and robots barely share the same space. The rich live above it all in bright towers, while the people below cling to a rough and growing anger toward the machines. These machines are the cause of their lost jobs and shattered hopes. Detective Shunsaku Ban and his nephew Kenichi arrive from Japan. They're chasing a sinister scientist tied to illegal organ trafficking, but the scientist has a secret. He built Tima, who's a special android that looks just like the dead daughter of Metropolis's most powerful man, Duke Red. Kenichi finds Tima alone and confused. He protects her and dives into the city's dangerous underworld. Duke Red's son, known as Rock, leads a brutal task force hunting rogue robots. Tima becomes their target. A rebellion sparks as tension rises. Humans fight the rise of machines and the elite's control. Martial law is declared and chaos rules the streets. Through all of this, Kenichi and Tima's bond grows. She starts to question who or what she really is. The city's design grips you. Art Deco skyscrapers tower over dark alleys. The style is a nod to the 1920s. The music combines jazz and ragtime, which gives it a unique rhythm. At its heart, Metropolis asks tough questions. What makes someone human? Can a robot be humanized enough for them to have a soul? The movie reveals the ugly side of advancement and the price of power. Metropolis stretched the limits of animation. It fused traditional cel art with cutting-edge CGI at Madhouse's creative peak. The film flew under the radar when it hit theaters. Box office returns were low, but it earned a cult following for its bold vision and style. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, 2002. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex is set in the year 2030. It takes place primarily in the fictional Japanese Newport city called Nihihama-shi. Many people in this world are cyborgs who have prosthetic bodies. The series follows Public Security Section 9, a special task force of former military and police officers. They investigate cybercrimes and government corruption. These crimes intertwine with cyber technology and society. Season 1 centers on the Laughing Man incident. A hacker revealed essential facts, and several firms blocked a budget-friendly solution. They were assisted by the Japanese government. They did this to profit from expensive treatments. The Laughing Man hijacks the media. He protects his identity with a logo. His actions spark public attention and imitators. This results in the standalone complex phenomenon. Section 9 works to expose this truth. They face government opposition, which leads to their disbanding and the apparent death of Major Motoko Kusanagi. This turns out to be a ruse, however, and Section 9 regroups. They bring corrupt people to justice, and they dissolve the government responsible. Season 2, Second Gig, is set 2 years later. It depicts the social and political repercussions of historic wars. It illustrates the life of millions of Asian refugees in Japan. Section 9 deals with a homegrown terrorist organization. The company goes by the name of Individual 11. It is led by Goda Kazunodo through social manipulation. The social instability is caused by the machinations of Goda. Hideo Kuze battles to be truly independent. He's a refugee leader. Kusanagi finds personal connections with Kuze. Goda is ultimately killed. This occurs prior to his defection to the American Empire. Kuze ends up dying from Goda's schemes. The film Solid State Society is set 2 years after Second Gig. Section 9 investigates kidnappings, and the victims are cyber-brain-replaced children. They're under the care of comatose elders. These elders form a collective intelligence called the Puppeteer. The investigation reveals political exploitation of the children, and Section 9 and Kusanagi intervene. Heat Guy J, 2002, Heat Guy J follows Daisuke Aurora. He's a young special services officer and his partner is an android named Jay. They work in the futuristic city of Judo. Special Services is a part of the Bureau of Urban Safety, which lacks adequate staffing and funding. Judo deals with poverty and corruption, and artificial humans are found there. Androids like Jay, meanwhile, are illegal. Jay has great physical power. He punches through steel, he sprints up walls, he jumps high without injury. After fighting, his body heats up. He vents superheated air, which gives him the nickname Heat Guy. Daisuke stays laid back. He commits to justice deeply. The series shows his cases. He fights powerful criminals, including the Leonelli crime syndicate. Claire Leonelli leads the mafia and is a young explosives expert. She becomes a recurring foe. Daisuke's team faces criminals, but they also face political corruption. Kyoko manages logistics and is a key supporting figure, but others connect to Judo's underworld. The story weaves action and growth together. Daisuke confronts his past slowly and forms alliances with former enemies. Heat Guy J is a noir detective drama. It adds futuristic elements, and the show comments on society. It shows crime fighting and decay, and high-tech intrigue fills the city. Judo struggles for order. Technolize, 2003. Lux is a crumbling underground city. It depends on mining raffia. Raffia is a rare mineral and people use it to create advanced prosthetics. These prosthetics are called Technolize. The story centers on Ishii. He's a disgraced pit fighter who lost an arm and a leg. He angers a powerful figure, but Eriko Doc Canada saves him from death. She's a scientist who gives him experimental prosthetic limbs which use raffia circuits. They link to his deceased mother's DNA. Ishii enters Lux's violent power struggles, where three rival factions control the city. The Organo crime syndicate, led by Onishi, rules. The Salvation Union aims at overthrowing them. They share revolutionary beliefs. Rakan youths rebel. They use prosthetic enhancements as weapons. Ishii meets Ran, a mysterious seer from the surface village of Gabe. She glimpses possible futures and offers guidance. Kazuho Yoshi arrives as well. He's a surface dweller who sows chaos among factions. This maintains his fading existence. His actions intensify conflicts and tensions rise in Lux. The class emerges as a threat. Kano leads them, inbreeding shapes him. The class uses biomechanical soldiers called shapes, and the shapes conquer Lux. They prepare for a surface assault. Ishii and Doc journey to the surface, and they discover the truths concerning the fate of humanity. Lux decays through never-ending conflict, and Ishii fights for survival. He seeks meaning amid ruin. The series explores despair and identity. It probes the human condition. The world is shaped by cybernetic technology. Technology and decay coexist. The tone stays somber throughout. Society fractures over resources and power. Appleseed, 2004. Appleseed tells the story of Dunin Newt. She's a young soldier and one of the last survivors of the global war. Dunin is rescued by Hitomi, who's a second-generation bioroid. She is stopped by Briarios Hecatoncheires during her escape. He's her former lover and now a cyborg. Dunin realizes the war has ended and that she's in Olympus, which is a technocratic utopian city. Its population is half human and half clones called bioroids. The city is ruled by three groups. Prime Minister Athena Arios leads the government, General Edward Uranus III commands the Olympus Army, and the Council of Elders holds influence as well. A synthetic technocrat named Gaia watches over the city from a place called Tartaros. Dunin joins ESWAT, which is a counter-terrorism organization. Second-generation bioroids come from the DNA of Dunin's father. This makes them her siblings. Bioroids live shorter lives because their ability to reproduce is suppressed. A terrorist group from the regular army destroys the bioroids' life extension facilities. The Appleseed data, which can restore their reproductive powers, continues to stay hidden. Olympus struggles with internal conflicts. Dunin and Briarios lead a strike force to the birthplace of the bioroids. Dunin activates a holographic message. It reveals where the Appleseed data is kept. The scientist who created the bioroids is Dr. Gilliam Newt, Dunin's late mother. She had entered Appleseed data to Dunin before her death. The regular army attacks again, and Dunin learns about betrayals and hidden agendas. General Uranus claims bioroids want to control humans. Briarios explains that the Council of Elders manipulated the army to destroy the D-Tank. This device holds the reproductive activation mechanism for bioroids. Athena attempts to rescue the Elders and save people. The Appleseed data that Dunin employs following a battle is to rehabilitate the reproductive capacity of the bioroids. At the end of the story, she had to challenge the Council of Elders and close the gates of the city. The story reveals how people can survive in a world where machines and humans coexist. It's got political intrigue, warfare at high-tech levels, and personal battles. Speed Grapher, 2005. Tatsumi Saiga wanders Tokyo's shadows as a faded war photographer. Tabloid gigs barely keep him afloat. The thrill from battlefields lingers in his shutter finger. One night, he's pulled into the Roppongi Club's grip. This den feeds the elite's twisted cravings. Saiga aims his lens at Kagura Tenozu. She stands as the club's haunted goddess at just 15. Guards spot Saiga fast. Death looms close. Then, Kagura's kiss changes everything. His photos now shatter targets like bombs. Her saliva unlocks a virus inside him. It births euphorics from deep obsessions. Club VIPs chase that rush. Powers twist from fetishes into weapons. Saiga uncovers the Tenozu group's rot at the core. They pull strings on wealth and vice versa. He swears to yank Kagura free. They bolt through neon streets together. Euphorics stalk with grotesque gifts. Rubber limbs stretch. Diamond skin gleams. Drills spin from tongues. Choji Suitengu hunts them with blood as his blade. He rules the club from gilded heights. Saiga and Kagura slip nets time after time. Suitengu strikes hard. Wounds cripple Saiga. He claims Kagura back. She inherits her mother's empire through blood, and a wedding looms to seal his throne. Saiga crawls back from the brink. He storms the ceremony, and Kagura slips free once more. Japan fades behind them, yet shadows of power reel them back in. Prime Minister Kamiya brews betrayal with cabinet snakes. They crave the club's fire. Policewoman Hibari Ginza joins the fray, and her gun snaps off in self-defense at every foe. The lens of Saiga slices further than bullets. Ergo Proxy, 2006. Have you ever wondered what happens when the perfect world starts glitching from the inside? Ergo Proxy throws you straight into Ramdo. This domed city stands as the last safe spot on a poisoned Earth after some massive eco-disaster wiped out the outside thousands of years ago. Humans live side by side with autoraves. These androids come in companion models that look just like people for daily company, but there's also entourage-type autoraves built more for heavy tasks. The government runs everything through bureaus like intelligence, security, and health under a regent who calls all the shots. People are grown in artificial wombs here. Each one gets assigned a raison d'etre from birth. That locks in their role for life. No one thinks natural reproduction works anymore, then some murders start to shake things up. Autoraves hit with the Cogito virus start waking up self-aware. They kill without warning. Riel Meyer steps in to investigate. She's the regent's granddaughter working at the Intelligence Bureau. Her partner, Iggy, is a trusty autorave companion. They chase leads and run into proxies. These godlike humanoids hold secrets the government hides through shady experiments. Enter Vincent Law, an immigrant from Mosque hunting down infected raves. Turns out he connects deep to the proxies somehow. Security hunts him down after a big clash, and he ends up at an outside commune that gets raided hard. Vincent pushes onto Mosque to dig up buried memories. Riel catches up with him later, and they team up with Pino, a childlike autorave who caught the Cogito virus as well. The group wanders through crumbling domes while the virus spreads chaos. Proxies created these domes in the first place, and without them, the whole system fails. Questions pile up about humanity's real survival shot. Ergo Proxy nails 2000 Cyberpunk with its trapped society vibes. It echoes those 80s and 90s portal worlds where you cross over and everything shifts. Think protagonists like in Fushigi Yuugi tumbling into unknowns that force big changes. Vincent and Riel chase identity through neon wastelands. Escapism drives them from fake domes to raw truths. It pioneered deep dives into who you are when gods play human. Dark fantasy fans got hooked on that dread, combined with a personal quest. Baldur Force EXE Resolution, 2006. Totoruma is a hacker in a group called Steppenwolf. They make a living by breaking into servers and selling what they steal. Their last job together was to hack a powerful military server, but it turns out to be a trap set by the military to catch terrorists. During this mission, one of Totoru's closest friends is killed by an unknown simulacrum, and most group members get arrested. To avoid a long prison term and find out who killed his friend, Totoru joins a military organization called FLAC. This group fights cyber terrorism inside the Wired World, a virtual network where hackers operate. Totoru is given a new task of securing the network against an extremist group known as Fei Dao. Meanwhile, as he's working with his new staff, Totoro seeks answers to his past and the friend that he lost. The series addresses the issue of identity by tracking the life story of Totoro's transition to being an outlaw hacker and a military agent. The data and the control of the world brings the two worlds together as Totoru challenges his opponents and wonders what freedom is in a world dominated by data and control. It's a fast-action 4-episode OVA that warns us of an over-reliance on networks and the effects of hacking on society. Cybercrime and virtual combat lovers will have plenty to explore since Totoro Toru is fighting in both the physical and digital arenas in an attempt to find secrets lurking within the wired world. Vexil, 2007. Vexil takes place in the 2060s. Robotics and cybernetics technology have advanced significantly. The UN bans any further robotics research in 2067, which causes Japan to pull out of international politics. Japan has a robotics giant called Daiwa Heavy Industries. Japan closes its doors and shuts them, deports all foreigners, and intercepts every communication by the RACE network of offshore energy fields. Japan effectively vanishes from the world stage. 10 years later, the U.S. Navy's Special Forces Unit SWORD suspects Japan has hidden advanced banned technologies. They send agents to infiltrate the country. The agents discover the frequency of the RACE network. Most agents are captured, and Vexil is the lead agent. She escapes and finds Japan has turned into a wasteland. Tokyo is now a shantytown controlled by Daiwa. A resistance group opposes the corporation, and they use Vexil's transmitter to send critical intel. The resistance reveals that in 2067, an engineered disease swept through Japan. The vaccine was experimental nanotech. It converted citizens into synthetic life forms. The process failed to preserve free will, and it turned people into lifelike machines. Rogue nanotech created the Jags. The Jags are dangerous sentient metal monsters who roam the wild. They devastate much of Japan except for Tokyo, which is protected by a heavy ceramic wall. Vexil joins the resistance. They lure the Jags away from Tokyo using a service bridge, and the plan backfires. The bridge detaches and the monsters fall into the sea. Vexil and resistance leader Maria are captured by Kisaragi. Kisaragi is Daiwa's mastermind. He plans to invade America with his research. Vexil discovers Kisaragi has not subjected himself to his own transformative tech. Kisaragi escapes after a struggle, but Vexil, Maria, and their allies destroy Daiwa's headquarters and the Jags. SWORD helps them. Vexil reflects that humanity's spirit can never be erased as she and the surviving members flee a lifeless Japan by helicopter. This happens despite the bleak mechanized future they witness. This CGI film has cyberpunk themes with bio-cybernetic horror and corporate control. It delivers a high-stakes infiltration narrative. Glasswriter, 2008. A terrifying outbreak has begun in a near-future Germany. Corpses reanimate as savage biomechanical creatures called demoniacs. These beings merge with technology. Cars become deadly extensions of their will. Motorcycles roar under their command. Society reels under the threat. The Zeogenesis Assault Team, or the XAT, fights back. The team protects humanity. They uncover the truth behind this nightmare. Gerd Frentzen, who's a motorcycle champion, suffers a tragic accident amidst the chaos. It leaves him paralyzed. He's offered a drug that promises a cure. The drug transforms him into something beyond human, and they name it an amalgam. Gerd struggles with this new power. Betrayal hits hard. His fate intertwines with others, and they linger in the outbreak's shadow. A young man named Malik faces bullying. He seeks justice and acquires some comparable powers, but they drag him into bloody warfare. Joseph comes in as a strong orphan. Dark secrets tie him close. Herman navigates as a haunted agent. Loyalty blurs with survival, and forces collide hard. Friendships face tests. Hidden agendas unfold, and it's unclear who's a monster and who's a human. Rumors whisper of one creature that might rise above all. They call it the mythical Blast Rider. The Pale Rider looms, salvation rides in its wake, or destruction follows. This story merges high-octane action with dark sci-fi mystery. Marvelous verdict! And that's a wrap for today's video. We reviewed some of the best cyberpunk anime of the 2000s. These series combine technology and dark narratives in distinct ways. They may not be household names, but they have much to suggest to those who like dark fantasy and science fiction. Have you seen any of these, or is there a hidden cyberpunk anime you think more people should watch? Let us know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious and stay marvelous.